just as many flashbangs to play off of. Jacob still has himself the smoke grenade, but no kit currently on these CTs. Alu's just going to go ahead and tuck himself away. You can hear Jacob moving up already. Could have heard both players on the site, but he's ever so cautious to the peak. The first man walks by as he takes the headshot. It's just down to Tensky, lit with 9 HP as he tries to peek from the side of the boxes. Alu gets tagged down, and both players still trying to find the angle, but there's just no time. Tensky is going to retreat, and FaZe Clan hit 14.
Yeah, huge play from Alu just to play time, realizing the first buy from the CTs rarely have more than one kit in play. Like, it's not often there's a lot of kits in play on the first buy from the CTs. And Alu just plays that, not only knowing the time factor, but also knowing that position is super good when it comes to finding the initial one-on-ones because it's on your terms. Unless they wide swing into the door, but it's still, your crosshair's there. Yes, you can jump up behind them, but you make noise when you do so. So it's a super strong position from Alu to make that 1v2 happen. FaZe Clan 14, Dignitas UMP is a max 7, 1 M4, although they do have utility. And one thing we haven't seen from Dignitas yet, although we haven't seen too many rifle rounds on the CT side, is some aggression to their CT. I feel like they've been very content to not go for any kind of pushes, although contesting top banana hasn't been working. We haven't seen too much aggression. It's very been mid-site kind of oriented and back banana / top banana.
Another bomb site has fallen here for Dignitas. The rotation's inbound, but it's yet to arrive, and that bomb's already on site. So Nico punches in the digits. He's got a player to the back of Nubox to help out, and a man anchoring banana. Keo's still towards the A site here, playing the long con and hoping to catch a rotation towards mid. But as these CTs get spotted, we should see him come back round. Nico finds the third in this round already, and he could find a fourth as the man on the other side of the smoke is lit, as is he, down to 20 HP. As Dignitas will fall away and fight another day, Rain takes another kill, and it is just down to Fox.
Yeah, I think he's going to peek into this, try to find some exits. Not going to be, so 15-5. If we take a look at the scoreboard quickly, if it's possible, I mean, what a game from Nico and Alu. I mean, what else can you say? Everyone's doing their job on FaZe Clan. Their rotations on CT were on point. Their entries so far on T side have been relatively easy due to Dignitas not being able to build up a bank. The pistols didn't get Dignitas anything, and then it kind of just fell apart from there. As this is possibly the last buy now for Dignitas, and it's a UMP, again, 1 M4, a UMP and a scout, barely anything for them to work with. It's been table scraps as this entire CT side.
Fox is able to deal damage to Alu first and foremost, so he's dropped to 30. The frag grenade comes sailing by and near catches him out, but it's Rain who catches Fox as the opening kill goes the way of FaZe. And Rain continues to pry for info as Keo does the exact same thing, and it's Keo with the next. So 5 versus 3 is now FaZe flood the A site. Rain hitting headshots left, right, and center. Rubino the next to tumble. Tensky's all that's left, and this is a lot to ask for him in what could be the final round of this game.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you can do with no utility, just a UMP, and there's actually a player to his right, and he will fall to Rain. So FaZe Clan 16-5. That's going to be your final score on Inferno.
What a game from FaZe. It's so hard, isn't it, to deal with that defense of theirs. I think as we were talking about before the game actually kicked off, it's something that might be a slightly too difficult of a task for Dignitas in their current situation. They just haven't been together for too long, and we can see as soon as the AWP gets into the hands of Alu and Nico, there are just so many problems. Even if you're able to get the bomb down and get into favorable situations, you have these incredibly skilled players
Neo,
who are able
he's
to
getting boxed in from behind,
away, have insane amounts of confidence, and feel as though they're going
and
to
down
win the
he
game no matter
goes
what
as well.
happens. And I mean, we can see that this AWP defense was awesome between Alu and Nico, and that was a round where they sort of forced it up as well. So very cool stuff there from FaZe, as expected. They're doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well.
I can't even count how many times Alu got the opener, whether it be from banana, whether it be from top mid, and even sometimes when you mentioned he went for the risky peek down ult, I don't think Alu was scared at all. And even when Nico got the op, he was re-peeking more times than not. Even when he was alone on B, which is relatively a position where you want to play safe, a little more reserved, just shoulder peeking and falling back in his sight, he was playing aggressive. He was taking duels with players down banana in 1v3 situations like he didn't even care. Like he was no fear.
Yeah.
And it just kind of fell apart.
Again, one of the things that we talked about was that there was going to be kind of that no respect CS, and with the amount of aggressive peaks off of the ops, that's exactly what we saw. There just, unfortunately for Dignitas, was no response, but there's no shame in that. I mean, FaZe are undefeated. They're now 9-0, and when you have that double op setup from Alu and Rain going off, I mean, how do you slow that down? Fox actually had a great first half. He had something like 15 frags while the rest of his team still set below double digits. And that was because he was responding with his own op. But the problem for him was that there was 2 of them. I mean, even one of the 2 gun rounds that FaZe put on the board, or that Dignitas put on the board on their T-half, it's thanks to that 4K from Fox. If he doesn't go off in an individual sense, then we see the pistol, the 2 conversions, and a single gun round from Dignitas. So
Yeah, they lose the pistol without Fox doing that 1v3s.
Yep.
That's even 3 rounds less.
Yeah, exactly.
This is one of the exciting things actually about Dignitas is that Fox has sort of reinvented himself, per se. I mean, back in the old Kick days, he was known to be the star player of the team. Then when he was picked up by the kind of international band of mercenaries into the King and G2 type lineups, he was put in roles which perhaps he didn't really seem comfortable with. To be honest, he looks incredibly one-dimensional. What we're seeing here is a guy that's very happy to go and open like entry frag with a Deagle or an AK or an AWP. He's happy to put himself in these dynamic, aggressive situations, and we're seeing like much more breadth to his play. And I'm actually I'm quite impressed. I didn't know that this was actually in him. So this is fantastic. I think it's a good sign. Is this something? Is there any light at the end of the tunnel as far as Overpass is concerned? That's the next map. I mean, FaZe, it suits them very well.
Yeah, it's a very comfortable map. It's a map that's, again, another rotation-heavy map, and FaZe just didn't over-rotate. They were comfortable in the positions. They knew what they were doing. Every round, they'd throw 2 people to B, but have full trust to leave Nico. And there are even rotations where their back to B were slow because they had so much trust in those players in sight to stay alive and knowing that they can buy time for rotations. So they didn't even hesitate in rotations. They were just slow and methodical rotations from FaZe. I think it's going to be more the same in Overpass. We may see more CT side aggression from Dignitas, which I think would have helped them on Inferno a bit more there because we never saw them really aggress into A apps, which is more spammable, but more aggression on the CT side is something that I'd like to see from Dignitas, hopefully, but should be all FaZe.
And the thing with Overpass, again, is that if you can take bomb sites quickly, then it's very difficult for the rotations to arrive in time if you don't have that preemptive read. And that's what we see on Inferno. Like, you look at the B bomb site between Kerrigan and Nico. Every single time Dignitas would attempt to take it, they were able to slow them down with utility usage. They'd get 1 or 2 frags, and the entirety of FaZe would rotate over so quickly. Flip that over to the second half, and every single time FaZe entry to a bomb site, they clear out the defense in a matter of seconds. And even with the counter-terrorists arriving from the B site, there's too much lost by the time they get there. And that's just something that comes with that kind of, like team-based executions forward that FaZe, a cemented top-tier team, is going to have over a team like Dignitas. Can they acquire it? Sure, but it's going to take more time than what they've had already.
I guess in some senses they'll be relying, or Dignitas will rely upon aggression, maybe over-aggression, maybe slight complacency, overconfidence. Yeah. I think that's like maybe one thing that could work in their favor. I mean, FaZe is a team that does like to be aggressive. Surely they won't hit their shots every time. There should surely be an opening in there for that to be abused. And again, as you pointed out with the series against VP, Dignitas are a team that can play some good Counter-Strike, but Overpass is quite a complex map. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how this one goes down. I think it's time for a quick break whilst we set that one up. So join us after the break for Overpass. We'll see you soon.
Do you play Counter-Strike? Do you want to play with the pros? Do you want to play against this guy?
Going in for his team.
Or this guy? Perhaps even this guy. Okay, maybe not him. Sign up now to FaZe.com and take your game to the next level. Play against the pros only at FaZe.com.
My name is Forrest.
I'm GetRight.
Freiberg. You want to beat an old timer like me?
Come try us at FaZe.com.
The home of all the good stuff.
Map number 2 of FaZe Clan and Dignitas sets to start as we do kick things off on Overpass. And this is the choice of Dignitas. If you guys are just tuning in, well, you missed a one-sided affair on Inferno. And hopefully this time, Dignitas can justify the map pick and put some more rounds on the board. At least double digits, Seaside.
Alu didn't buy anything. Unless he dropped something.
Nope.
Nope. Interesting. Little things. As Kerrigan, gonna have a ton of players pushing up short. They blind themselves as Keo still alive. We got a couple frags himself. Nico rotates over, so Keo gets 2, Kerrigan gets 1, and Nico from the heavens, with the help of Alu, will shut it down, who didn't spend a penny. So now he's building a little piggy bank nice and early. Look at the money he's up to. Plus the 800 plus that. He's already up to 4,300.
It's meta. That's how you get.
He's gonna get an op
guaranteed
third
op.
round, which is interesting considering you'd be up against Glock. Okay, M4. See, now this is, I like it. I like it, Alu.
Look at the deco over here from Dignitas. They've got the 4 sets of Kevlar, 1 flash for Croman to try and get somebody onto a position, but everybody's going to have the ability to pop some skulls here in the second. FaZe Clan go for a little bit of a bargain buy as they get that MP7 and XM1014. And the M4 gets switched over to Rain, so Alu forfeits it up as Alu gets lit to 55. We see the T side already trying to creep their way towards A, but the CT is not getting over-aggressive, not trying to go for any kind of a fountain peak, just forfeiting those portions of the map, allowing Dignitas to get somewhat closer, but Rain's still trying to make contact here towards mid, and he gets dropped to 18. Nice boost from Dignitas as now he has to retreat, and they've tagged up 2 players.
This Deagle army is on the hunt, so they're even going to try to catch a player jumping back bank. FaZe do have 3 members here, but 2 of which are heavily tagged. And there you go. What a shot from Croman to find Alu. All of a sudden now, this opens up the A site, and it forces FaZe Clan to consider pulling a player from B. They're not going to, as Rain's going to sit by Transformer. Going to be able to pick up 1 as Rain has his assistance there with Nico. Nico gets 1 more, and Nico's looking for the 4th. He has 3, as Tensky spotted down to 78 is just going to fall back as a nice hold comes out from Nico. He was the man with HP, the man who really had to make the play. Although they lose Alu, could be a worse outcome.
Yeah, Dignitas, you know, they get a bit of room to work with. They get that opening pick thanks to Croman, and they even deal some extra damage. But then Nico shows up, and he just locks things down. And even now, Tensky's still just tagging up players. Kerrigan dropped to 6 HP as he sits on 11. But it's the man from the flank that reveals himself, and Keo with the shotgun seals the deal. FaZe Clan convert the point. They only lose 1 player, but that certainly could have gone worse.
Yeah, that could have went way worse, especially considering Rain was tagged. If he falls in bathrooms out being able to fall back to site, well then that's a rifle down within reach. And Alu still gets picked, let's just assume. That's 2 openers now for Dig. They play it safe. FaZe Clan allow Nico to just peek out from backside being the man with HP. And he'll find the necessary kills. They're going to toss 12 Glocks across the board. Double flash. And it's looking like they're going to try to push out towards Fountain. A good flash from Rain to allow him to peek and clean up too. Alu with a nade in, taps away on Croman and is looking for the last. Easy cleanup for Alu. Nade and taps will get FaZe Clan 3-0 lead. I don't think Keo will upgrade. I imagine Kerrigan may. Or he may just stick. You know what? I could see them pushing the auto and the MP7 in towards connector.
Yeah.
I think that's probably something they'll do.
Go play that close range contact. They do have the 3 M4s coupled with this, right? So you can leave those guys to play at range, keep them in the bomb sites, and allow Kerrigan and Keo to just play around with this one. Take a bit of a gamble, right? They have the bank to fall onto. Keo will assume position inside of connector, but unfortunately for him, he has no support from short at the moment, and none from bathroom either. So he is going to have to make sure he does not go down now, especially as Kerrigan's been dropped thanks to Rubino. The shotgun deals damage, but it's not enough. Jacob doubling onto this opener from Dig. And suddenly, FaZe Clan just down to that 3v5.
Only gets Jacob down to 65 at that range. As Rain gets spotted, dealt with, and good trades for Dignitas just across the board to get 2 clean openers on Keo and Kerrigan, who both, granted, got a little aggressive in connector and out through Monster. But they're just clean kills now from Dignitas, cleaning up those long players while only losing 1 and dropping 2. Great trades for Dig. As now they have full map control. It's all on Nico, and they have to kind of catch Nico. They're going to figure out where he is shortly with these mollies and flashes being thrown. He's going to take the engagement. Now they know where Nico is. But, I mean, Nico immediately transitions to B. So if he can find one of these players pushing up towards him, this is doable.
There we go. Up close is Jacob. Nico still on 46 here. He's got still utility to play off of. Smoke, flash, and fire. As He rains one out towards short. Now that's going to block off the line of sight from the bomb site, so Dignitas aren't sure if he's actually crossed to the opposite side of Graffiti or if he's lurking in from heaven. So he's actually going to catch one off guard. Rubino dropped quite low on 22 points of health. Again, this was a round that FaZe just wanted to play around with. They weren't necessarily looking to win it as they didn't go for that full investment, but they had to deal damage at the very least because the whole point of this was to get the reset on Dignitas. So excellently done by Nico now to still hammer home a couple kills. Rubino will escape with his life and Dignitas the round. Nico stays standing at this, so that facilitates the rebuy in the next.
Yeah, only going in with 3 M4s, one of which they bought round 2. So not much loss there for FaZe Clan, and they do more importantly keep Nico alive, who's able to deal, as you said, more damage to Dig. As Dig go right back into the AKs, Fox will be the only one missing the full utility, where his teammates will make up for that while FaZe will get the op out on Alu. Now let's take a look where Alu's heading. He is number 500 minimap, so keep an eye on him. I think he is just going to play this kind of aggressive. I don't think Alu's going to slow down on Overpass like he didn't slow down on Inferno. He was just non-stop taking aggressive peeks, holding angles, re-peeking, transitioning all over the map. And Overpass is another map that allows for ton of different positions for the opper. You can even sit in sites to long A aggression, bathrooms aggression, anywhere on the map. If you push with enough support, an op is viable. As right now, Dignitas are just going to sit in a default. Rubino is holding monster / water push. They have a player spotting towards connector, and very water heavy kind of presence right now from Dignitas.
I'd love to see an aggro op here from Alu. He's not sitting behind the dice box on the A site, but instead within bathroom. So he's going to start to feel the heat and the presence from the T side, as there are multiple targets here. The bullets start to rain through, so he's going to fall back safely. And Rain will assume the more forward position, right? He's hoping, of course, that they try to split through bathrooms, but he's hoping not to die like that. Fox hits the headshot, and now it's Alu and Nico trying to push back into bathrooms. So they want to force Dignitas into long A by removing this avenue of assault. If you can turn this into a one-pronged attack, then suddenly it's that much easier to hold off onto. They're going to have that bolstered defense as well as Keo rotates up, but Jacob with another kill makes this from bad to worse. Alu finally finding a response for FaZe, and Near lines them up, but it's Keo from the site, and Alu once more dropping the bomb and leaving Dig over here towards long. Fox clears the site of one, but it is still the 2v2.
Alu's just going to post up here now. He has bomb at his feet, and he does have to worry about bathrooms, although we can see both players from Dignitas are out towards long. I think Kerrigan spotted one of them, but if he re-peeks, of all the info in the world, but 8 seconds. Dignitas are looking for fights. FaZe won't give them a single engagement, as they're going to have to try to save. And you really have to give that round to Alu the way he played around bathrooms. He got the first kill, flashed over for Nico to peek in. Nico got triple peeked, actually, by Dignitas, but Alu held his ground. He didn't try to fall back, which may have been death from the players pushing out long A. So he held his ground, and more importantly, had faith in Kerrigan to get to site, so Alu didn't have to worry about behind him.
The op still in the hands of Alu. It's rifles across the board. Nico on the ump. And Dignitas trying to salvage a buy. I mean, this is what we saw in Inferno. They don't, or in this case, they don't even win the pistol. But then that hard reset the moment they put a round on the board. So they're against the ropes here with the purchase. And Alu missing a shot will give them something to work with. Rain again tumbles first and foremost thanks to Fox. And that's the 5v4 Dig hoped for. If Rubino is able to retrieve that weapon, then suddenly the pistol no longer in play. And Dignitas have a real chance of getting this second round.
And we'll see. The clock kind of got away from Dignitas last time, and it was a similar start to the round, where they got a clean entry. It did get traded eventually from FaZe, but then they ended up finding Nico in almost a similar situation there. Last time Nico actually got flashed over and he took the peek. This time he goes down through the smoke. And now it's Keo instead of Alu in this spot, where he kind of has to keep pressure, find a frag, maybe fall back, but there's almost no room to fall back where you want to try to find another one. But he will fall back on 19, as Dignitas will push forward to gain bathrooms control. More importantly, though, FaZe have numbers on A site now. They've actually hard rotated.
They have numbers, but they no longer have bathroom control like they did in the last round, right? They were able to push back that bomb and prevent it from getting to the site. But Alu's going to get pinched here. Still able to drop one, but no flick shot thanks to Croman, who takes his head. Still a man advantage to Dignitas' favor, and they've able to get the bomb in. Croman's going to try to stick the plant as Keo on 19 health goes wide. Jacob gets caught in the face, and there is this kill here that now allows FaZe to try the 2v2. Croman, however, from the back of Optimus Prime, lines them up, knocks them down, and that's the round Dig needed.
That's a nice angle from Croman, too.
Yep.
That's actually super safe. A lot of people would play up on top of the truck or just in front of the truck and shoulder peeking it, but that angle is a crouched angle. That's super safe and gives you a nice line of sight. Easy double spray down for Chroman to get Dignitas number 2. Now they're in kind of an awkward economy situation where if Dignitas need to keep like 2 to 3 members alive, kind of to solidify that strong buy in the next round. But it's kind of this wonky buy from FaZe Clan too, right? Where they're just going to get upgraded pistols, a mag, a scout. There's not really much for FaZe to work with. As Dignitas, they want to get out with as many players as they can because it's kind of reset. It's kind of wonky territory. But Dignitas are definitely looking primed to gain this one, unless Alu has something to say about it, though.
Yeah, looking to pop the skull here on Jacob, who the moment he hears that buckshot just falls back. He wants nothing to do with that shotty. Rain, however, reveals himself from behind the tree, and Chroman trades. Still a one and done off of the Deeg. A little repeat here from the bathrooms, though, could net some more, but he's been spotted, so he tries to fall back. Alu still committed to the spot, and Jacob just gets blindsided by the shotty. So a man advantage to FaZe, and Fox attempting to clear out the bathrooms here. Not going to make much noise other than falling back. Now, still, we have Rubino over towards short. He's trying to just pry towards the B site as Chroman continues to clear corners. The bomb's all the way towards playground as well, so Dignitas can't commit. They still need to look for some kind of an opening, which will be difficult in this 3v4.
Yeah, unless FaZe push a player in an aggressive angle by himself, which isn't the play right now. I mean, they're playing relatively reserved across the map. They have one player who's pushed up in bathroom, but there is a player in A site by bank to help him out if he needs to fall back. Chroman's going to slowly shift walk up, but if Nico jump spots this or peeks long A accordingly, he would spot it. Rubino towards B, going to find Alu. Or no, that was a bathrooms player, excuse me. As Nico through the mollies, tries to fall back, 21 HP. FaZe are going to get rotations through. Did that no-scope land a Chroman? It did, and then the second one will as well. Now with Kerrigan with the flank, this is looking extremely doable. So it's all on Fox. 1v3, bombs planted right through the smoke as Kerrigan will execute him from behind in FaZe Clan. With 1 mag, a scout, and pistols. Will make out like bandits not only with the round, but 3 players, 2 AKs, and an op.
Fantastic stuff from them. I mean, it's a heartbreak for Dignitas, right? You think, okay, they get that hard reset, but they're able to just kind of muster together the round on that brokenish buy. And then that happens. FaZe Clan sneaking one through, getting another reset versus Dignitas, and now if they were to invest into the buy as they did in the last time, they're not going to have as much. Last time they had that double AK, they still had the UMP, and so this time they go back to the Deco. It's just going to be a Glock for Tensky. He's not going to have very much to work with. Armor on Jacob, so if they can find a gun, then he too can mitigate that aim punch. Nico's peek towards Fountain doesn't do all too much, other than drop Fox to 66. But the CT's content with retreating to the bomb sites and forfeiting the map control to Dig.
Yeah, it's a round where you don't really have to play with too much aggression. You can play a little pushed up in your own bathrooms, but nothing too crazy. You don't want to get overwhelmed by these pistols. It's a safe 6 on the board. They have no armor except the one Kevlar, as you mentioned. Alu going to play their own flower pots and hold long bathrooms, while Rain will have his full focus in bathrooms as Jacob just wide swings with his Deagle, though. That's an opener on Rain, and you're the one who said Jacob had Kevlar, so he actually is the one to get the M4. And now this is doable for Dignitas. They have to have clean entries, though, and Nico's not letting them have any clean engagements whatsoever. They'll just wide swing on him, tap him away, as Jacob's going to do his best to find the return frag. And he will end up finding Nico. So it's back into a 3v3. They have a molly into 1 M4. But FaZe Clan are still looking pretty good when it comes to the numbers on the site. And Kerrigan pushed up with info towards B.
Yeah, now these first 2 turrets are going to have to puncture through the bomb site in the form of Jacob and Tensky, because the bomb carrier Rubino is just so damn lit.
Yeah.
So they need to push in, they need to clear that space, and they're going to try another little boost here to see if they can catch an angle. It worked onto Nico, and this is the nice little initiatives that they should be taking. But that Deagle's also going to rain a couple shots out. Keo comes wide with the peek. He drops 1 as the bomb hits the dirt, and Keo finds the 3rd. FaZe Clan 6-2, and Dignitas hitting a bit of a wall, although they got a couple kills in that one, and considering the buy, there's no shame in that.
Yeah, we're not going to see an op-out for Fox yet. I think it's going to be an interesting factor when it does come in play, because you see the pace of Dignitas slow down a bit. It's been very fountain-heavy and connector-heavy with a couple players in connector or 1 player in connector, but it's been a very A-sided kind of default now from Dignitas, where they'll keep 1 player towards Monster, 2 players just to keep presence and keep a little bit of a pressure towards B. But it's been very water and bathrooms heavy / long A. So when the op actually gets out in Fox's hands, it's going to allow them to post up wherever they wish across the map and hopefully find the entry for Dignitas. But it's not going to get that as of yet. As FaZe, they get forced out of connector early. They're falling back, and Chroman just wide swings from door, but look at Nico. He's playing this so smart. Lets him line up in front of him. He's got 2. No one else is there for him to frag out on, as he is just going to fall back short. That's bomb control as Rubino Gonna do his best to bring it back for Dig. As he's gonna try to find the second player. Down to 12 bullets, and he's good for it. Rubino brings it back into a 2v2, but Nico, the hero play there.
Rain from the heavens is going to get smoked off, so he needs to take a more forward spot. Still has Alu within the site. Rubino's going to play the anchors. The bomb shifts its attention back towards A, and now FaZe Clan also split themselves between the two bomb sites. Rubino did a great job of opening the site once, but he's going to have to continue this distraction, trying to pull Rain back in, but Rain finds the bomb, and now Rubino's job gets ever so harder. There comes Alu with the swing. Rubino goes down. Great play there from FaZe, able to clutch that out in the 2 versus 2, but it was really Rain who, or Nico rather, who just sat in that little goblin hole and allowed for them to jump on over. Smart heads-up play right here.
Yeah, Nico just sat, spotted bombs, spotted the second player, and calmly took the shots. And that's a place you don't see often a player crouch in. A lot of times it's pushed back in the cubby. So not often will you think, well, I have to clear sign now. He just sat there so quietly and very patient. Dignitas sent to pistols. Alu going for the aggressive opening peek. And he's going to take some shots his way, but he doesn't quite spot them. Rain's going to push up to Found himself, as this is just an aggressive round now for FaZe.
Rain just dispatches of Tensky with ease. Fox will be able to find one trade, and Jacob actually hits a headshot off at the Deagle as well, so a man advantage for Dignitas in a round they really had no business winning. They have the op in the hands of Croman as well. Ooh, Keo gets tagged ever so heavily, down to 15 points of health. He's going to look to re-engage, and
wow,
he gambles his life away. So Nico tasked with a 1 versus 3. 2 targets tagged, Croman with the op, and that bomb site planted.
A lot of risky fights from FaZe Clan in that round. A lot of high risk with rewards being a couple frags, as it's all in Nico 1v3. Now, Fox, Jacob, and Croman, they all have no armor. They do have an op and an M4, as I'm not too sure where that 1 damage came from. As Nico's going to try to push in the site, trying to find an initial one-on-one. He is going to find Croman, but immediately traded from Fox, so nothing Nico can do in that position. They're going to try to retrieve the op. They're not going to get it. Now, Fox may just buy into it, as he did stay alive and drop the rifle over his teammates. Now, this is going to be the first time we've seen a T-side op from Fox, if he elects to do so. And he's not going to. So my dreams are kind of crushed right now.
Also the first time that we're going to see FaZe Clan with such little money.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a round where, you know, one of the things we kind of discussed in between the maps and the chances of Dignitas winning was going to be overconfidence from FaZe. They're a team that likes to play aggressively, and that's what they did in the last round.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was very disjointed, and they lose multiple fights on multiple fronts, leaving Nico in that 1v3. He near swings it back, but it's just not enough, and then Dignitas get an immediate anti-eco. This is a dream scenario for Dignitas. They just got, you know, this presented on a silver platter. And if they're able to convert this one, then suddenly this game is only a 3-round deficit.
Looks like Fox is going to sit there. He's low HP, down to 26. Allow Tensky to just hold the squeaky door. FaZe with no armor, just upgraded pistols, went for an aggressive peek towards Fountain. When they found nothing there, they transitioned down towards Connector, where Tensky's going to try to lock it down. We'll do a little bit more damage towards Rain. As Rubino, though, with the help of Jacob, will get the bomb planted on B, find the frags required there. The last remaining member is Rain, hoping someone can just peek him. He is going to be able to hit the shot on Tensky, but immediately traded out. So Dignitas lose 1 member to the upgraded pistols from FaZe Clan, who will now be buying into this one. Alu get his op back out. Dignitas will be sitting comfy now as they start to build up their own little bank here around round 12. So late into the half, Digger kind of finding their economic footing. But it is still in the realm of possibility of FaZe Clan shutting it down near around 14.
Yeah, by all means. I mean, even if they win this gun round, then Dignitas are going to be tasked with a difficult job, right? 4 rounds on the T side of an Overpass is not what you'd be shooting for. But if they can get 6 or 7, then they'll be fine. We shall see. At least it's guns aplenty. Everybody firing on all cylinders. Early connector control and a great collateral. Alu lines them up, knocks down the first and hits up the second. Tensky on 2 HP. Great bit of teamwork there from FaZe Clan. Has his teammate open the door. Now he's got an angle on Jacob, but this is nice. He doesn't want to gamble his life. He doesn't commit to that position, and instead just keeps re-peeking more from a more safer angle. Able to grab the kill to Jacob as Tensky returns back with a kill to Keo. Alu returns to the site, and he hits another one, but Rubino's there to trade. 3v2 and a health advantage for FaZe.
Yeah, and Tensky gets cleaned up. Rubino 1v3 knows there's a player short. He has a minute to work with. 2 players from Heaven will face. He gets carried in, but Rain is there for the trade. And that round is, you just got to tip your hat there to Alu. I mentioned early on where pretty much almost every part of this map, from Monster to Squeaky to Water, can have that op presence if properly supported, and that's a perfect example of it, where in some lower tier teams, the opper would be sent there by himself to open the door by himself because they're going to be so focused on water. But since you beat the T's there, and if you're able to smoke off the tunnel like I believe FaZe did there, then Alu can just focus on the op. His teammate even opens the door for him. And that's just great teamwork that you love to see.
Yeah, it was the Molotov that blocked up the push,
Connected.
and then
Something
the
like
moment it fades, that's when the door comes in, right? So it's just like such
Sound
timing
muted.
across 3 different players from 2 different portions of the map. That's the kind of you know, assertions that FaZe should be making versus a team like Dignitas, right? FaZe has been together for much longer of a time. They're kind of revered as a much better team, and that round was a perfect example. We'll see if they're able to hold off this B push though, because Dignitas are just coming flying out. The majority of their team, in the sense that everyone's here, is already trying to get in, but the smokes allow for Rubino to jump through. Intensky hits the headshot. Keo with a shotgun swaps to 1, but the AK now in hand. He clears the man from pit, and the 3v3 is what we're left with.
Keo's going to try to fight back in here. He's going to wide swing from barrels. And Dignitas have 2 players monster, 1 player short. We'll see how quick Keo can figure this out. As the initial engagement, he'll deal damage but can't clean up the frag. There is a smoke out on Alu, and he does have a kit. There goes the smoke onto the side. It's not quite on the bomb, as the Molly's going to keep that second player at bay. As Keo cleans the both up, and it is now on Jacob 1v3. And now it is just a 3v0 as FaZe Clan will get the defuse, 9th round on the board. And Dignitas had a good play there to get into the site. The post plant seemed to be a little skewed, and taking engagements when FaZe Clan had numbers on the site was it was risky, but they had to take those risks due to the post plants they chose.
Yeah, fantastic round from Keo there. 4K on the round. He had a 4K on Inferno as well that was stolen away from the ace thanks to Jacob. This time it's Rain who takes the 5th, so unfortunate for him. Alu with the op going for that early peek. Gonna come up empty-handed. Tries to re-peek it as Rain flies out for long. Rain catching 2 with their backs turned. Hits the second shot. Croman goes down. Near 3rd from Rain. And this is just FaZe asserting themselves on an individual level.
Feeling extremely comfortable as Rain. Oh my goodness, taps with Rubino, that's all 4. And he's looking for the ace. I think he spotted Fox, but I don't think he called it immediately because Alu was just still holding that angle. I think, you know, maybe he wanted that ace a little bit. I think that may be fair to say, as that's another denied ace for one of the FaZe Clan members. But they do go up 10-4, and that is just such good trigger discipline to not spray at long ranges. He knows when to tap. He knows when to spray when they're lined up. And that is just a simple, clean round coming out there as FaZe Clan will go up 10-4. Dignitas on round 15. More table scraps, right? It kind of looks like they went to Costco to buy this buy. It's very taped together. It came at a low cost due to them not having a lot of money, but an AK, Deagles, a UMP, very low utility, and they're going to go back to the bread and butter. That started to work early. The quick long A pressure to the bathrooms and try to fight off these FaZe Clan members. Looks like Rain wants to try to just put up the stop sign, though, and set up a 4-way stop.
Yeah, if you can peek this corner while they're still setting up, that would be superb. I mean, even though they don't have bathrooms control yet, if they lose long already, then Rain puts a stop to this right away. But Croman stops him with one hell of a headshot. FaZe Clan going to go for the boost here towards long 8, trying to get some information or maybe a pick.
I like it.
Great play from them. That's multiple times now we've seen them use these kinds of boosts, both on Inferno and now on Overpass. Jacob, though, with a Deeg, gets a headshot of his own, and he finds Nico as well, as now Rubino with a Deeg takes another. Greatly done by Dignitas, just punching their way into the site. FaZe Clan caught a little off guard, and Kerrigan has to clutch.
And 1v2, Jacob's tagged down to 40 as Dignitas get it done with some pistols and the AK invested. Rubino still has a molly, and he has fallen back a little bit. As Kerrigan comes around the corner, he will spot him, and that's Rubino in the cubby. As Jacob's a long member, and Kerrigan's already spots it, and he will get it done with the CZ. Doesn't even need a reload, and he wins 2 engagements that are considerable distance with the CZ, all things considered. The player in cubby by truck, and the player out long. And the half's going to end 11-4. A superb CT half from FaZe Clan. Rotations were good. The shutting down the default of Dignitas, and constantly keeping them on their toes with if connector's going to be given to Dig or not. And just Alu floating around with Zop was always a key point to talk about, because it's the same thing as on Inferno. He just floats around and stings like a bee. It's the same kind of concept.
Everybody on FaZe right now hitting shots as well, right? I mean, barring Kerrigan, who's not expected to be at the top of the scoreboard, everyone's in that mid-teen range. So great just team play from FaZe Clan. Everybody hitting shots. And that nice 1v2 from Kerrigan to close out the half keeps FaZe Clan on 11. Again, pistol round going to potentially decide the outcome of this match already. Dig would love to get some more rounds on the board. And Fox at least gets a kill to Nico, but Alu's immediately there to trade back. And this is all the A control in the world in the hands of FaZe.
Kerrigan's thinking about opening this door, but he is just going to sit. He has the bomb, so he doesn't want to show much. And there's a jump spot coming in from Dignitas right now. Croman's going to be jumps peeking towards water and towards Squeaky. And as soon as that door gets open, you'll see Croman push into the site and try to support that player, who is back towards barrels now. He was peeking Monster. That's Rubino. Looks like he will want to re-peek in towards Monster. He is going to find what he's looking for in engagement, but he can't clean up the kill. Now he's going to feel pressure, thinking someone else may be coming up short from FaZe. That is going to be the case.
Yeah, here comes FaZe Clan just stampeding into the bomb site. There's no kit currently for Dignitas to play off of, and Alu Tensky trading back, one and done, is still FaZe keep coming. Tensky with another and a third as Kerrigan's dropped, and it's just down to Keo. Gets the 1v1, but he doesn't hit the headshot, and now suddenly the CT's have his number. Greatly done there by Tensky. He holds off the bomb site, falls into the water and keeps himself alive, and then just takes the repeaks on his own terms, which allows for him to get those headshots. So Dignitas with a fighting chance to at least put more rounds up.
What's super important is what I noticed was Rubino's positioning, is he takes the engagement with player Monster, which is what he wants, but then he's aware enough to be like, okay, why is this guy facing me as much as he is with a Glock? There's something going on here. So he falls back to the site knowing that odds are the floodgates are open and FaZe Clan are coming. And he's allowed to just sit in sight and play around that pillar beautifully to allow teammates to get in rotation positions and just shut down FaZe Clan, who didn't even get a bomb plant. So it is just going to be upgraded pistols, not much else to work with, a smoke and a flash. Jacob's in bathrooms with the help of, I believe that is Alu set up there. And they're just going to pretty much play his bait and switch setup as Jacob's going to be switching out. Actually, that was Rubino, pardon me, who will get shut down as Jacob is just going to fall back.
Jacob's going to use his smoke grenade to try and force them away. And he actually peeks into it to find the head of Nico, but he drops to 15 points of health, so there's still some wiggle room for FaZe to play with. And Dignitas have yet to commit to a rotated A site, so they're unsure as to what to expect, and FaZe are banking on that ambiguity.
Almost. Alu's fish into the Deagle, shut down from Fox, who are just going to sit on site. This should be Dignitas' rounds, unless Keo and Kerrigan, who have picked up Rubino's UMP, and they do have a smoke to throw on site. They'd love a plant in this situation. There's so many players from Dignitas on towards A site now. 2 players green bin, 1 player long. And Kerrigan will get caught while he crosses. So Dignitas get number 6. FaZe Clan going to have to take a save here. We may see some pistols. Alu's probably not going to invest a penny. If they want to go for some P250, some utility, that's going to come down to Kerrigan if he wants to invest into that. But outside of that, I don't think there's going to be much from FaZe into this round. Dignitas may send Jacob to go aggressive with his UMP, same with Fox, try to get a little money under their belts before the scary FaZe Clan comes out of the cave, which is the AKs are not FaZe Clan.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a pistol and conversion points won by Dignitas on Inferno, and that didn't nothing more than 5. Rubino, though, going to make mincemeat of these first 2 players thanks to Jacob's assistance, but Rain has at least a trade frag and a 2v3 on the table. Rain still standing, but not for long, as Fox sweeps them under the rug and moves Dignitas to 7.
This map is looking a bit more comfortable for Dignitas, though. Their CT side seems a more lax. The rotations seem a bit cleaner. The T side is where we saw some light for them, or Inferno, sorry. Yeah. The T side of Dignitas on Inferno was looking good. The CT side was kind of flat. Granted, they didn't have too many rounds to play on it, just due to the big lead that FaZe Clan had over them when they actually swapped sides. But Dignitas seemed more comfortable on this map. Like they have more of a set plan around it, where Inferno seemed a little loosey-goosey.
Yeah, well, they're just going for aggression in this round. Dignitas trying to take these fights, but Nico's ready for it. And the peek from long is a great way for Dignitas to take the man advantage. However, spotting players at long A and also towards bathrooms opens up this opportunity to take the B site. This is a fantastic mid-round call from Kerrigan. He recognizes the threat, and they see the window of opportunity, and they're just going to try to shove their way through it. But Croman's here to at least buy time as he takes 2. The bomb crossing to the site, tries to plant, but no! Croman denies on all fronts, and it is just down to Keo. He's going to find 1 kill in the round, but he's being swarmed from all directions, and that's a fast one from Dignitas as they lock down B.
Not only was that that call from Kerrigan Wright was on point to just transition back to B, but this round is all Cromans. He just lines them up like bowling pins and knocks them down. Something I can't do at bowling, by the way. Terrible. But Croman clearly can, as he just shuts down those two players from short, finds the last of the smoke playing the bomb. Even if he gets one kill there, that's still a good job. So getting 3, denying the plant, it is just a round-winning play there from Croman to get Dignitas on 8, and more importantly, deny the plant and put FaZe back onto pistols, and to kind of hamper the economy a bit more.
FaZe, though, they're just going to go for this fast pistol play into the B site, so they've got nothing really to lose in this one. Hoping for a bomb plant. Croman's already locking it out, and Tensky yet again. We saw him shut it out with the pistol round, and he and Croman combine forces to lock things down. That bomb plant still able to squeak through. 2 players standing on FaZe side, but no, that is it. NiKo taking 1 frag onto Rubino, another clean one from Dignitas.
So they're 1 away from double digits now. This starts to get close. As FaZe Clan, we'll take a look at their money. That's bomb plant plus a fair bit of loss. So they will have the op back in Alu, AKs, everything in their dreams that they'd wish is now upon them. As Dignitas will get the op out on Fox themselves. Now it's going to be interesting to me to see where Fox heads. As I mentioned, there's a ton of avenues for the opera to head to. So keep an eye on Fox to see where he can where he's going to post up and look for the opening frag. As Rubino's going to push down in towards Connector, and he has a teammate with him to support him. So Rubino's just going to sit here. And more importantly, the nice thing about having a teammate there towards bathrooms while you push into Connector is a safe way back. Because if you don't have that teammate there to hold party, you're almost dead as soon as they spot you. So the little things now from Dignitas are starting to add up, which puts rounds on the board.
Just FaZe Clan creeping their way out towards party, into the bathrooms, and hopefully for them towards A. I mean, this is another gun round where they're just slowing things down methodically. You saw that fast Tech 9 play into the B site, and you know, the gun round before, they tried to just get ahead of the curb by going in that fast, reactive way towards B. This is a round where they haven't lost a man in the first 30 seconds, so we're going to see FaZe Clan transition into their default. Rain's here to pinch into the short, thanks to Kio's presence from tunnels. Fox here as well for the boost and flash, going to try to get some info with that op, but now the terrorists are waiting for it. I mean, that flashbang was so indicative of what he was about to do. They read it like a book, and FaZe Clan with now map control, a 5 versus 4, and plenty of utility for an execution.
Yeah, they do have time to work with too. The nice thing Overpass leads to is quick rotations from both sides. As Alu gonna be holding from the peak towards bank, and there you go. That's another opener towards the site, and they're gonna go now. Rubino looks like he's actually falling off the save while he ran by his teammate. So Rubino made the looks like he made the executive decision. So it is going to be a save from Dig. They're going to try to save the 2 rifles. They still have utility on themselves. They're worth a fair bit of cash with the op, and they are going to fall back. So Dignitas, their streak will come to an end this half. FaZe Clan will get to 12. And more importantly, they keep 5 members alive in that round that they win. So the reset is going to hurt them if they do lose the next round, but it's not going to be as bad as if they lost 3 or 4 members here.
Yeah, the clear difference between these 2 gun rounds that we've seen so far from FaZe Clan on their T side was that in the first one, we have Dignitas forcing the fights over towards Fountain. They push the player through party in the double peek on long A, they get that opening kill, and in a 4 versus 5, FaZe kind of, you know, force the issue towards B. This time around, Dignitas play the opposite way. They sit inside bomb sites, they allow FaZe Clan to take portions of the map, and then even lose a player here and there, which ultimately just gives it to FaZe. So if FaZe are allowed to play their game plan, then I don't see Dignitas holding on to this, what looked like, comeback. They definitely need to continue clashing with FaZe Clan. They have to play that no respect CS and get up into their faces. If they allow for FaZe to just take portions of the map and go through those routine steps, there's no way a team like FaZe will throw this.
You know, back towards Connector. This time he has a teammate with him, and still that player towards party to make sure no one from FaZe get a cheeky angle on them as they push down. Rain's in the smoke. I don't think they're ready for this. They actually stacked up to look in towards water. So a 1-for-1 trade's good for FaZe. Now they know that Jacob's here, and they're content to be back at even standings, as Fox is going to look for the pick. So now that's not too good as NiKo goes down without any kind of trade yet, as Kio's looking to apply pressure towards Monster, but he is alone and has to be cautious and catches Jacob with his knife out. So that's always nice to have a player running towards you with a knife. Easy, clean frag. as FaZe look to just settle out now and hope Dignitas throw a couple more players their way.
Yeah, Dig had that 4 versus 3, which was really looking good for them, but it was the retreat of Jacob that throws that away. And you can see how the advanced spots of Dignitas are also lost with his death. The moment he goes down, everybody falls back from long A, they retreat into the bomb sites, and then Fox, now moving forward, looks to re-engage through mid. They are going to go down and stack that B site with the other 2 defenders, so trying to gamble a bit here as to where FaZe have gone, because FaZe just falls silent. They're giving away no audio cues whatsoever. Kerrigan has crept his way with bomb towards A. Now his grenades just come sailing over into the site, and that pulls attention for Fox. Kerrigan doesn't see it coming, but Keo's luckily able to trade, and a 2-on-2 ensues. That bomb still needs to be retrieved, and there's only 15 seconds left to play off of.
And there's one player in bank behind Green Dumpster. He was using the smoke to his advantages, and she's just going to push out to truck. They clean up Alu, and it is all on Keo, no utility. They both have kits on the CT side as they're going to try to double peek him, but Keo finds the one-on-one and holds for the push. Keo, though, will get shut down from Tensky. Dignitas will get number 10, will retrieve the op, and they'll hold on to their sanity and get double digits for now, at least.
I mean, double digits and a hard reset is exactly what they needed,
it's what they
right?
needed for sure.
This is an even better start to their CT side than what FaZe Clan had in their 11-4. So Dig in this second half are very, very convincingly putting something together. They're going to have the money to move forward. They still have a nice chunk of change in their coffers for reinvestments in the follow-up rounds. And luckily for FaZe, because of that bomb plant, they'll have a nice solid buy as well, and still some cash to play off of. That round loss bonus is now reset, though, so they have to be extra cautious. And we'll see if Dig continue the aggression now that they have this opportunity. They don't want to throw this away. You just hard reset your opponent. You're in the two-round difference. It's here for Dignitas for the taking, so long as they don't throw it away.
As long as it doesn't go out the window. As Nico's going to smoke off bathrooms. Thinking about pushing out himself. As Rain, who else would be down in connector? He's done this before. As you can see, Dignitas just going to fall back. Fox is going to continue to hold towards connector support from a rifler. As Keo and Rain will gain connector control together. Now there is a player sitting in water. Just crouching there. That's Tensky. He's holding second tunnel, and he hears Squeaky getting opened. And he's going to call from Croman to peek this out from short. But Tensky has so much trust now in Croman. Just make sure they don't drop down on top of him as FaZe Clan. Rotate back towards A, where they do have bomb towards long. But Fox can really just make some damage here if he can get away cleanly.
Fox across both maps has done a really good job of going for these aggro peaks with that AWP. I mean, even the last round, right? He engages from long A, shuts down that one avenue, and then rotates back to the site just to force the fights once more. But it's Kerrigan gets hyper-aggressive, and Rain who trades it back. Croman's still standing, takes 2, and he's done a great job of defending sites, but this time he falls. Dignitas to a 2-man disadvantage as Nico pops Tensky, and Rubino walks through smoke to his demise. That's FaZe bouncing back in a critical round.
Team Ace as well. So
Beautiful stuff.
everyone's doing it. And what I found really cool about that Dignitas defense is FaZe Clan Dignitas threw their smokes, then they molly behind the smokes. And they kind of enticed FaZe Clan in. So like there was a smoke long A and a molly behind it. And Kerrigan still ran through the smoke, through the molly, and got one opener. And then the rest of his team just fully committed and just overwhelmed the players on site. Croman tried his best. It wasn't to be. As now Dignitas will have the op still out in Fox, so we'll see some aggression from him. But a pistol lacking so those kind of mollies to hold off these quick pushes as Fox is fishing for the opening one. He was looking for that player back there, but a nice quick shot to find Alu, who was actually posted up on his angle as well.
Yeah,
and there's
Jacob
a second.
From long takes Nico, so excellent little 5 versus 3 here for Dignitas. Again, bouncing back in a critical round. Sure, they lose that one before when FaZe really needed it, but Dignitas needed this one. And it seems like they should walk away with it. Unless Keo can just creep his way into the B bomb site, it's actually going to be forfeited for the most part. Fox still towards Graffiti and support from the heavens, but the smoke blocks him off. And so Kerrigan, just trying to fight into the bomb site, will cover the plant and try to punch in the digits. At least FaZe have something to play off of. The retake's going to be difficult for Dig as they don't have that many nades and they don't have a single kit. They use one of their smokes already and the second comes through. Kerrigan turns up the heat though as he finds 2. Tensky returning it back as Rain scuttles the retake. Tensky also taken down, and a 2-on-2 is what we are left with Rain so lit, but it doesn't stop him yet. Keo finds the last, and FaZe take the round in a 3 versus 5 B bomb site.
That was such a sick play from FaZe. They were 2-man deficit, walking to pretty much empty site. Dig left one player at Graffiti. And what really allowed FaZe to get in there and get the plant was A, the smoke onto site, but Kerrigan threw a sick molly back from Monster that landed by the doors. So it kind of kept Dignitas' rotations at bay because they didn't want to jump out Heaven or challenge Heaven knowing it'd be posted on. So that kind of staggered the rotations, and as soon as they came out, they sent 4 players Graffiti, 1 player Heaven, and FaZe just had the positioning, the crossfires to just lock it down. And then Dig now are sent down to USPs, P250, CZs, as FaZe's T-side is really starting to shape up.
Nice off angle from Rain, catches Rubino, and Jacob's there with the pistol to trade it, so that's not too bad for Dignitas. They've got a gun to play off of, but it's within this moment that FaZe start to turn things up towards long A, and they're going to find an open avenue straight towards that bomb site. I like that they're still going to use their utility. They don't want to try and, assert themselves without that defense in line. The smokes will block off any CT's rotation, except for the man who's up close on that signpost. That could be a problem. He's got the pistol in hand. Fox on only the USP could deal some damage here if FaZe aren't careful.
He's looking for it. Looking for the double dink. He's going to swing out. Yeah, aim punch too strong. Kerrigan finds him. Jacob. The AK with no armor will find Alu. So it's into a 3v3 with 45 seconds. And FaZe are kind of funneled out now. We've talked about the funnel effect towards long A. Not wanting to fall back into the AK of Jacob, who has transitioned to bathrooms and catches him off guard. Kill will finally put him down as Nico hits a nice tap on a Jacob. Or a nice shot on Tensky to transfer it over to Croman. As FaZe, they'll get to 15. Dignitas will get a strong buy in what could be the last round. But FaZe are looking extremely comfortable now on the T side. But you do have to say Dig have played well.
Yeah,
it's not even that FaZe kind of made that many mistakes. Yeah. Granted, there might be a couple moments where they're feeling over-aggressive, overzealous, and going for these peaks, knowing that they are, well, in a sense, the better team. But you have to say Dig's been playing well from the T side. They've had a good default. They've been fighting well with FaZe Clan to get map control. But also CT side, they're not over-rotating. They're doing a good job of utility usage, and they just Dig playing well. But FaZe is just turning up now.
Yeah, this is a whole new beast. I mean, at first it was Tensky and Croman locking down bomb sites, which was very impressive to watch, but now it's FaZe instead just pushing right through that, obliterating the defense, and leaving Dignitas on the back foot time and time again. The flashbang blinds Rain, but that's not going to stop Nico and Kerrigan from taking another 2. Jacob, who put up numbers in the last one, has to find the clutch, and a 1v5 is just too much to ask for. So FaZe clear Dignitas, and that's a 2-0 across these maps.
And I mean, it was on the back of Alu getting aggressive and having support from those riflers. He was able to just push and take consistent peeks towards Fountain, peeks towards Door. And Croman did a lot of work towards the sites as well. You have to kind of tip your hat to Dignitas. They played well on the CT side. They're looking comfortable on this map, which is a big upgrade from what we saw in Inferno.
I'm now no longer muted. Fantastic. Yeah, I have to say, very surprising that Dignitas were able to put up such a fight, actually. We're sort of expecting a similar story to the first game where FaZe just started to really run away with things, but we started to see them grinding out rounds. And of course, and one thing that just continually is surprising to me is just the talent of Croman. I mean, it's the small things really, and maybe, you're not going to see him turn up in a massive